Colin Murray. A new EFL season is upon us. It's one like no other, that's for sure. And while issues off the pitch, of course, take precedent, the beautiful game continues to be our passion. For millions of people, it continues to be one of our true loves for life. And for fans of Harrogate Town, this is an historic season for many reasons, but their first time ever in the EFL. Their manager, Simon Weaver, joins me now. And wow, history made, playoff glory in the most unusual of times. But to create that history, to get to the EFL for the first time, I'm sure every fan felt it from wherever they were able to follow it.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's been a momentous time, for the club and for everyone involved. We just, it's been incredible, almost lost for words still on it. And it's been a whirlwind since. We've had so much to sort, but I guess it's a sign that we've had rapid progress and that we've had to sort a lot and meet every EFL criteria. But we're there, and we're only a few days away now from playing in the cup competitions that take place in the EFL.
Because this hasn't been a meteoric rise. It hasn't been a flash in the pan. It's been a slow, steady climb for a proper local club. I think it was 14 years in the National League North. This has been a real passion project, I suppose you would say. It's required real dedication over decades.
Yeah, that's right. We're in new territory. And to be honest, the National League itself, the top level of non-league, was new territory for us. And we were sixth at the first time of asking last year and lost in the playoffs. But then recovered without too much of a hangover, and got in the playoffs again and finished second. But to get over the line, it was just wonderful, breaking that ceiling and having new experiences to look forward to after a lot of hard graft in the years preceding it. So it's all to look forward to now.
For you, you're in this strange situation. You're the newest manager in the EFL, but from your very first game, by a country mile, Simon, there won't be a manager in charge of an EFL club even close to the amount of time that you've been in charge at Harrogate Town. Is the big decade up officially? Is it 10 years?
I've had 11 years now. Yeah.
Wow. That's just unheard of.
Well, my wife pointed a photo at me from her phone this weekend and said, "Look at you back then, in the first couple of years." And I looked like a really young manager there, a really young boy, actually. And I said, well, that's getting married, having 2 kids and being a manager for 11 years. That's what's happened in the last decade. So no wonder I look a lot older just because of the pressures of management. But in all honesty, I've loved it because there's been progress made and it's been with really good people throughout, on and off the pitch. And there's been a hunger and desire just to see the job through. And now we've got to this stage of our journey. We don't want it to be the last chapter. We want to enjoy the Football League experience and keep pushing forward.
It's a bizarre situation because the chairman, of course, is your dad. And a lot of people might say, well, that's good, right? If your dad's the chairman. I think it might work the other way, I think it brings a lot of complication and a lot of pressure to it. Of course, do you have a very strict set of rules in terms of keeping the football club, for example, away from the dinner table, or does it just take over everything?
Well, first, should point out that I do live separate. It's not every night I go for dinner with my mum and dad. I'm 42, married with 2 kids, and live separate. But in all seriousness, though, we work together as a team, and I don't think it would have worked if my dad would have been chairman there in the first place and appointed me as the manager and sacked someone else. I worked under Bill Fotherby for a couple of years, and after a really hard start with very little money to play with, we made really good progress second year. But then he got to a point where he couldn't continue anymore because of his age and running out of money. And then my dad was appointed, and he decided that he'd only really grab the opportunity if we could work with a vision of making the club sustainable, first and foremost, and engage with the community. And that's what we've achieved, really. And the 3G did well for us in that respect because it made a sporting hub within the area and attracted a lot of new fans at the time. But Of course, it's a different dynamic, and it's an easy target. That it's an easy angle to have on me. But all you can do is try and win games as a football manager. It doesn't matter who's chairman. If you win games and you make progress, then you should be in position, and the position's vindicated.
Yeah, you look through and see where's the experience in there, and you're right. There's a lot will come up without it, but there are some players I'm sure going to be very important in this step up. John Stead's a good example of that. It's just important to have a couple of leaders in there that can say, in true Rocky style, they ain't that bad. It's just one more league up. And I think actually the conference has gotten so strong, the National League is so competitive and so hard to get out of, that you can go in with a little bit of a fearless attitude, but good to have those heads around.
Oh, definitely. Steady's been training ever so well since we came back as well. And we played Sunderland at the weekend, and he was a real thorn in their side. Still got so much to offer. And also he breeds belief in the rest of the players, because he's been at the top of the game and he knows what it takes. He was saying, even when we beat Yeovil last year, I remember in change after the game and been sat next to him, and he said, we're all set here. If we can keep, feet on the floor, everyone humble and down to earth, we've got some energy in this side and we can do really well. And I believe if the same core players, we can do well at the level above. And he said that after, we won promotion. So I'm hoping he knows his stuff, but I do believe that the National League is a very strong competition and hard to get out. So obviously we were happy about that. And it's given us all a bit of confidence to believe in ourselves.
And you start looking for new rivals, don't you? As you move up, you start straight away I'm thinking that Bradford game's huge.
Oh, I know. It's incredible, really, to have the prospect of playing against Bradford City, and then just a little bit further down the M62, Bolton Wanderers, two massive clubs that, they clearly, we've dreamt about these situations, but I don't think many Bradford City fans or Bolton fans have, playing against Harrogate Town. But we're so looking forward to it, because they're great experiences for us. But at the same time, however happy we are, we don't want to be starstruck and just a bit starry-eyed and actually not stay in the moment. Because at the end of the day, we're professional people. We want to win. And want to go and really be a force. But at the same time, we realise that we're stepping up, and we have to keep learning.
I mean, I love what you said about sustainability first in this period. As you say, 11 years there as a manager, and from when your father came in a couple of years later, sustainability first. And I think that's a perspective that's changed amongst fans. Yes, of course, these things are important, but making sure that the club is there, making sure that they can bring their son and their son can bring their daughter is right up the top of the list, if not the number one thing in the modern football era.
Well, that's why we realised the criteria to reach the EFL. We had to have the stand up to the right spec, and we needed more seats in. So we've got this brand new spanking family stand, and the player development centre that we've had, so coaching 5-year-olds all the way up to 15. We want to bring their families in and take a nice seat, great view, and enjoy the Football League. So it's come together, and it's come together at the right time throughout these building blocks. But they're all experiences that we want to inspire that next generation of Harrogate Town fans, and enjoy good football from honest people. But with that understanding that, without the crowd, it makes it so hard. It's so hard to be sustainable. And lockdown hurt us, and I'm sure it hurt most clubs, bleeding, in fact, financially, because we didn't have that footfall, through the door.
Well, hopefully, the next time we talk, there will be fans coming in. Hopefully by, they're looking at October as an aim to do that, for fans to come back in. But on the pitch, what would be the definition of success this year for Harrogate Town? Where do you set that? Or do you not want to set a ceiling on it?
It's I'd like to be succinct if I can, but it's tricky. I think I spoke to Howard Wilkinson, who's chairman of the LMA, and he was brilliant. He actually got in touch straight after we won promotion, invited me to his house, and it's amazing, because I used to be a big Sheffield Wednesday fan, and he was the first Sheffield Wednesday manager when I was watching. And he said, "Look, just try and keep him up. It's a big year for you, big year for the club. If you can keep him up, then that'd be brilliant." As far as my players are concerned, I'd love to be more ambitious than that, still, and and not make a rod for my own back, but would love to carry this momentum into the new season and get as many points as we can, as fast as we can, and then from Christmas push forward and see how hard we can push for maybe a top 10 finish. But we'll see. They're all new experiences. You don't want to be stating anything too grand, in terms of ambitions, but we're hoping to make our mark and at least show a clear identity of what we're about as people and what we're about as a team.
Well, good luck with everything. I look forward to when the fans can actually be physically part of this historic moment, and hopefully it'll come soon enough. I've sent in Holloway a text. I've said, look, Simon's a good guy. Have a nice bottle of red ready for him when you go up to Grimsby. But enjoy every one of those experiences along the way, mate.
Thank you very much, Colin. Nice to speak to you. Appreciate it.